sodas all around the world have been evolving, and I'm not talking about the taste, because the most important part of a soda brand is the branding. While taste definitely matters, like it or not, the packaging on all your favorite drinks is the main factor in why you chose to drink it in the first place. All these cans, bottles, and everything else were specifically crafted and recrafted time and time again, just so that next time you see it, you decide to stop and pick it up. While a lot of these brands have solidified their style with great success, it seems like lots of these cans don't quite capture the vibe of the flavors going on, or they just don't look that appealing. There's dozens of major soda brands and variants, along with hundreds of knockoffs. Here's a massive list of just Dr. Pepper ripoffs. Surely there's not this many doctors pursuing the soda industry. I just don't get it, man. And while they're usually trying to just steal the aesthetics from each other, each can still ends up having its own unique flavors and vibes, resulting in all degrees of quality. And while knockoffs as a whole are an interesting topic for another time, today I want to focus on those flagship soda brands that have the biggest budgets in the world to do whatever they want with their packaging, and therefore hold the responsibility of being as stylish as possible. So welcome back to Fix the World, where with your help, I fix the entire planet one item at a time. In this episode, I asked you guys how we should fix some popular drink cans, and you guys delivered yet again. Let's get into it. Alrighty. So I kind of just want to start off by clarifying our guidelines or rules or whatever. First, I know there's already like a million types of sodas, but I actually want to expand our topic to drinks in general, not just sodas exclusively. But for this episode, we are sticking exclusively to cans. Even if we're messing with a drink that's normally in a bottle, we're still gonna make it into a can form to fit with the theme. And while you guys had some pretty cool ideas of how to modify the actual can shape, I want to keep it relatively realistic and simple so that brands could actually take inspiration from this and use them themselves. We're just gonna try to get the coolest designs possible, good colors, fonts, designs, whatever, and the most important rule of all, have fun. Anyway, to start, we're gonna go with Gatorade. Obviously more of a sports drink rather than a soda or energy drink. And as far as I'm aware, there's only been bottles of this, no can variants. So let's fix... Actually, let me check. Maybe I'm wrong. That's interesting. Anyway, they're not nearly as popular as the bottles, probably because of the design. So let's make our own. So I think it's pretty clear that the most suggested thing for Gatorade would be to add an actual alligator onto the can, which only makes sense, let's be real. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do for the design yet. So one key trait of the Gatorade bottles is that they are clear so that you can clearly see the color, flavor, whatever, same thing, which obviously isn't really a trait of most cans. So I'm thinking we just make the main background color all the same. Okay, that looks pretty clean. So how do we fit an alligator on here? I have a couple ideas. Let's see what works best. Nope. No. Maybe. Bam. I want it to blend a little better, so we do like one of these sort of things. That's kind of cool. Then we got to get the text on there. Thirst quencher, cool blue, all that. This is literally just the default font that it's set to, so not putting too much thought into that. Looking pretty cool blue, if you will. You know, that's not exactly how I wanted it to go, but I don't have any more ideas, so that'll do for now. Gatorade, there you go. Next on the list is Fanta. Now, when I was coming up with this whole idea in the first place of fixing cans, I came across this guy on YouTube that had my idea first. I was a little annoyed, but I watched it and he actually had some pretty cool ideas. Here's that design he ended up with. It's pretty cool, being all round like an orange. Overall, it's a pretty good idea, and I think I have the right to steal it because he stole my idea before I had it. I'm just kidding around. Don't worry. I do like the idea of making it round though. I do want to make a few little adjustments. And like one of you guys said, we need the Fanta design to be more fantastic. And when I think of the word fantastic, for whatever reason, I'm thinking magic. So let's go with some sort of wizard theme with all the orange and I don't know. So let's try to make this a sphere. Fanta did actually update their logo, and I think it looks pretty good. I like how it's going into this vanishing point right here. Maybe that's where we can have like a magic wand with a little wizard. I don't know. That sounds kind of fun. Wizard. This guy's cute. Kind of fits the vibe I'm going for, actually. We'll have him kind of down here. Okay, let's do the recoloring really quick, just because I know what to do for that. And then, yeah, let's get the background color. I want it to come out of his wand, so we're gonna change it slightly. That's kind of fun. A really nice detail on this design is this can tab. It looks like a leaf of the orange. I really like that. I have a special connection to can tabs for some reason. Anytime I have any sort of soda, I take off off the tab once I'm done and I just keep it in my mouth. This is not a normal thing, but I just like having the feeling of it there. I don't know. Wouldn't necessarily recommend. You could accidentally swallow it like I did one time. Only one time. But yeah, don't do that at home. It looks pretty good. Yeah, let's get just a bunch of stars in here now. Bam. That's looking pretty good. Moving on to another Pepsi product, Mountain Dew. Now, I said earlier that we kind of want to make these designs look like the flavor that they're actually representing, which I think we're doing a good job at already. We got the orange and the blue water, but Mountain Dew kind of just tastes like Mountain Dew. Like, you look it up and it just says citrus flavor, but I don't know if I even really buy that. So let's just stick with the mountain theme and just mess with it, see what happens. Here is the original. I do like the way these shapes are kind of just sticking out all over. It's kind of nice. And it does kind of look rocky like a mountain a little bit. So let's try to use that aesthetic to our advantage. Okay, these don't look bad. Connecting together kind of almost like little puzzle pieces. That's pretty good. Now we gotta get the dew. Anyway, that makes me just envision some sort of big droplet. And the best way to do that, I think, is to flip our entire shape upside down. Can stretch it out a little. That's okay. I need more shapes. Then, yeah, I think we just get some completely new text in here. Maybe we do an arch sort of thing. Bend it the opposite way. Oh, okay. This is genius. Hold on. We'll get one more shape that's all loose. And this is like the dew coming off of the mountain. A massive dewdrop. That doesn't look the worst. It doesn't look the best yet either. We get a gradient going like that. That looks a little nicer. Maybe it's not the right vibe, but maybe it is the right vibe. I kind of dig it. There you go, Mountain Dew. Next on the list, we got another non-soda with LaCroix. Now, I don't know what the deal is, but I'll be honest, I'm not digging this can. It's got kind of weird vibes. It's got way too many colors for how little flavor there is. And that font is really crusty, which kind of matches the flavor. So maybe that's okay. First, to signify the flavor, we're going to do just the slightest bit of saturation. That's pretty good. And yeah, the crusty font was a good move. Very signifying. So let's get another very crusty font. That's a little too saturated. Sorry. And we'll do some weird warping because that one was being weird too. LaCroix. That seems very synthetic and gross, I'll be honest. But we gotta signify the flavor at least a little bit. What the freak is pamplemousse? Is it grapefruit? What? Just say grapefruit, man. Can't be too bold. We'll just put a tiny little grapefruit, I guess right in the middle. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Actually, wait, that grapefruit's a little too saturated. Hold on. There we go. That's better. And for number 5, we've got the famous Red Bull. I believe this is the most popular energy drink in the world. You see ads for this all over the place, and they got like stunt guys doing flips and anything, honestly. You can tell they take a lot of care into their advertising and branding. And overall, yeah, their cans look pretty clean. But what I'm thinking is at this point, they really don't need to have their name anywhere. Like, I think it's very intentional that if you see this from very far away, you know it's a Red Bull just based off those colors. I think we just do that design, and that's kind of it. But you know what? One of you guys had a suggestion that's kind of getting to me now. What if instead of the slogan being Red Bull gives you wings, we have the slogan be Wings gives you wings? Like, let's rebrand the whole thing to be called Wings with 3 eyes, and that's the name of the drink. Okay, I'm changing my mind on this whole thing. I don't like those shapes. Except for this circle. I don't know, it kind of looks cool with the gray sort of thing. Okay, hold on. This is giving off a very specific vibe, and I kind of like it. Like, I think we just keep the papyrus. It's kind of funny. I want another ring of wings, 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 wings. This is incredible. You know, if this had like a really sweet font, it could be really cool. But this is just giving off a certain vibe that I really dig. So we're keeping it. Okay, I know I said I was just doing 5, but I have one more bonus can that I really want to get to. And it's for none other than milk. As far as I'm aware, canned milk is not a very popular item, but I think it can be, okay? There's lots of different vibes we could go for to tap into different markets, but I think there's an objective best solution for this. We're ripping it straight from the game Milk. You don't know, this is like my favorite game of all time. Go check out my video playing this. It's really awesome. Anyway, let's just stretch this up, make sure it fits. And I think that's pretty perfect already. I would buy that, honestly. But yeah, guys, that's looking pretty good. good. I think this is objectively better branding for all of these companies. Milk isn't necessarily a company, but my point still stands. I think my favorite one today has got to be this wings can. We'll add that one onto the globe. That's the tradition for the series. It's just got too much of a specific vibe to not go for. Anyway, for next episode, let's keep running with our theme of food and just make some more chip bags. Same deal as this, just let me know whatever chips, crackers, crisps that need fixing, and let me know what I should specifically do for that. I see those suggestions easier if you're a channel member. Thank you guys for the support, and I think that's gotta be it. Subscribe.